Today's redstone video is going to be a bit of an interesting one because we are playing in Minecraft 1.14, and in Minecraft 1.14 we now have the ability to crawl. If I just walk up to this little trapdoor right here, hit the button, it will then push me down and I can walk around like this, which looks absolutely hilarious. But this of course means that we can create houses with one high floors. So I thought it'd be a good idea to create a 5-story house that I'm then going to fill in with a bunch of redstone contraptions specifically designed to fit within this very small floor space. I have no clue how well this is going to go. Okay, so first things first, I think we need to make the actual door into this place. And I've had an idea of how to do it that I think works really quite nicely. So we have this trapdoor right here. When we hit the button, the piston retracts. That allows us to be pushed down, and then we can walk through and the door will close up behind us. And of course, if you want to get out the other side, then you just hit this button right here and that will open up everything and you can leave. Whoa. It's a good thing I didn't leave, isn't it? And yes, I did just totally forget that I'm playing in creative mode. Anyway, the first thing I want to do in this video is I want to work out how we're going to be transferring ourselves between each layer. Because going up a ladder, that's not particularly exciting. I think I've come up with an idea that actually is going to work really, really well. I think you can probably see where I'm going with this one. A little elevator for the inside of a small house. I have just thought though, I really hope that if you get moved by a piston, you keep this state. Yes, I'm 1 block higher. Oh my word, yes, 1 block high piston elevators are going to be a thing. So my idea is that this is just going to run on a clock at all times. Okay, so this is going to be running at all times and it will allow you to go up or down through your base just by walking into it, and then you'll get shifted through. So if we place in this observer right here and this observer right here, then we flick this lever. Okay, there is our little system. So if I get myself a trapdoor, I can't wait to use this. If I get myself a trapdoor and put myself into mouse mode and then kind of have to shuffle along. Okay, so I just walk in like this. And I travel up through my base. Oh my word, this is the best thing ever. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm out on the 4th floor, let's go. And then if I want to go down, obviously I go down the other side. Oh, this is so cool. I'm actually a little bit upset that I built this at the start of the video because the rest is going to be a disappointment. I don't know if I can top this. This is one of the coolest things I think I've ever built. Anyway, the next thing that I wanted to create was a storage system. So here it is. If we hit this button right here, it reveals all of these barrels. Now, the interesting thing about barrels is that, of course, you can have solid blocks on top of them and it's not going to obstruct it. So once again, if I go into mouse mode right here, I don't think that's the official name for it, but that's what I'm going to call it from this point forth, we can reach 2 layers due to the fact that we're using stairs. And then when we want to hide these things away, we just hit the button and they all get shifted off. Looks pretty cool. I think I'm actually going to build it on the other side and make the bottom layer the storage layer. And that of course means we also need storage for shulker boxes, and I think I've thought of a fairly smart way to do it. You see, the problem is that if you go out of the mouse mode, then it can be difficult to get back into it, and you don't want situations like this occurring. So I came up with this idea, where in the center we can store shulker boxes. If we want them, we just place them down at the bottom like this. So that one's there, that one's an orange one, cyan one and a blue one, and they sit down there and we can pick up items from them when we need them. But then if we need the shulker boxes, then we just flick this lever right here and we can stay inside the kind of crouched mode but also pick them up, because otherwise this area would be 2 blocks high, we would stand up and then would be stuck in our house forever. Then when we want to replace the shulker boxes, we just do it all over again. Anyway, I think this is floor number 1 completed. Let's move on to the next floor. And, I mean, we all know I have to do it. And this one is super simple. It doesn't really involve any redstone whatsoever, but it's all of the useful things that you kind of need on the inside of your house. So we've got ender chests, we've got anvils, we've got furnaces, we've got some crafting benches that are accessible, and we also have a full enchanting setup. So this is a maximum level enchantment area right here. just sat in our one high house. Now for level number 3, I think that we should go back to redstone related things, and I think we should try our best to build a farming level. Yes, you heard me correctly. I'm going to try my best to build some one-high farms. This could be a bit of a challenge. But the first one has been pretty successful so far. So here is the tiny little system. We don't even need that redstone dust. It all fits inside this kind of pancake. And if we hold down the right-click button and then click occasionally, we will harvest a whole ton of carrots. In fact, if I go through into survival mode, you can see that this works pretty nicely. Now, I did mess around with a bunch of different ways in which we can automatically harvest this stuff by moving the farmland, by shifting light sources back and forth, but nothing was really functioning or working properly or efficiently. And this seems like the smartest and easiest way to do it. I mean, it definitely works. I mean, check out how many carrots I got from just those couple of seconds of harvesting. How many carrots are you planning on eating? I've just realized you can kind of half stand up. What does that look? Oh, so I'm forced shifted. Oh, I hadn't realized that. Oh, and you can shift under these sorts of things. Oh, now that is cool. That has completely blown past me in the updates. Anyway, let's move on from things that everybody already knew, because I have been trying my best to build up some form of animal farm for, yeah, the best part of an hour now. I'm trying to make it work. So we need some form of slab here to stop the animals from pouring out. In fact, actually, this can be solid because we're going to do the breeding from above. So the next layer above this, we're going to have this little hole where we can hold down the right click button with the wheat that we got from this bread maker right here, and we're going to breed up a bunch of cows, and then the baby cows make their way underneath here and end up in this chamber. But the issue is I can't work out how I'm going to collect the items when we actually kill the cows. After a lot more head scratching, I think I might have come up with something. So if we just pop down into this area here, so as I said, breeding is going to be done from above, looking downwards, and then we have this little system right here, which when we hit the button, it will set fire to all of our cows and they will burn up. And then if we go to the layer below, then that is where we have got our pickup chests. Let's just drop down. Cool, cool. This is where all of the items will end up. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty smart. So now that we've got that finally sussed out, I think it's time to actually set ourselves up with some fully automatic farms, things like melons, pumpkins, sugarcane. That should go in this area here, and I think it's going to span 2 layers. For the first time in probably about 5 years, I'm using one of these things. This is an item despawn clock. These used to be staples of redstone contraptions until hoppers and things came along, and then we could create hopper clocks. What they do is, every single time the item despawns, it will sort that out, and it will actually send a pulse through all of these pistons right here, which will harvest all of this sugarcane. And then as you can see, we've got hopper minecarts down at the bottom, so if we are down on this level right here, we can actually access those hopper minecarts and pick up all of the sugarcane that's been harvested. It's the most compact solution that I can come up with. I have to say, it actually looks pretty fancy, doesn't it? Anyway, we have now moved on to the next layer, and it has been finished. There isn't really too much that I wanted to do with this one, so obviously we've got the top half of the sugarcane farm that you can see right there through the glass. Then of course we have got our melon and pumpkin farms that will output their items into these barrels, so that all seems to be working quite nicely. And then we have got the input to the cow farm as well. So we sit here and we grab ourselves some wheat and we hold down the right click button after hitting this button, and that will do the trick. And then those little baby cows will shoot across into this area right here. They'll be pushed into this space, and then that is the killing zone that we can control from the layer below. So it's so satisfying, this area. Now for the final layer, I thought it would be good to go up to a double height ceiling. The reason being, this is going to be the bedroom, and I want to make sure that the bed can actually function. So this area right here is our bed, and as you can see, we have these little trapdoors that pop up and down that allow us to quickly transition into crawl mode to access the rest of the house. But this is the way that we're going to be doing it. So that will run across like that, that will run across like that, then this area here is going to be our bedroom. And I think that rounds up just about everything. So let's go back down to the bottom and do a quick house tour. So to start things off, we have got ourselves an ultra modern exterior, looking very fancy indeed. I really like the way that this place looks. And our entrance is this super minimal little system right here. So if we hit this button, that will open everything up. And now we are in the place. If we hit this button, we have access to a double height area of barrels, and we've got one of those on each side. And then we also have a super smart shulker box storage system that is custom built to be working inside a one high environment. It makes sure that you don't pop out of crawl mode, because that would be very, very frustrating. Then if we make our way to the back, we go into our little custom built elevator right here, which allows us to travel between the floors inside this house. We've got access to furnaces, we've got the barrel for the cow farm that's on the next level. We also have an enchanting area, more furnaces, crafting benches, ender chests, anvils, you know the drill, all the stuff that you need inside your base. Now if you pop up onto the next level, that will take us through to the first farming layer. This is where we get access to the sugarcane that is farmed from our sugarcane farm there, and also our carrot, potato, wheat farm that is incredibly useful. I guess I probably should show it working. It's pretty good. So we just hold down the right click button, occasionally left click, and that will do the job. Then over here we have got the other half of the cow farm. This is the important bit because this is the part that does the killing. When we hit this button right here, those guys will be set on fire, and then their drops will drop down into the barrels, so we'll have freshly cooked steak. Moving swiftly on, we have got the next farming layer. This one is the top half of the sugarcane farm. This is also the breeding zone for our cows, and also small melon and pumpkin farms. Now the way that we breed the cows is we just have to grab ourselves some wheat, hit this button over here to pop up the water, and then hold down right click, and that will give us a bunch of babies that we can eventually set fire to. Wonderful. Okay, if we move back over to our elevator, we make our way up to the top layer, which is the only layer in the place that isn't one block high, and this allows us to use all of our beds. Now if we want to make our way back down, then we just go on the left hand side and we can gradually travel through all of the floors. I absolutely love this place. I think it's so cool. I really want to build a base like this actually in survival mode, because I think it's useful. I mean, look how much we've managed to pack inside such a small building. It's incredibly impressive. It really is. Oh, seriously cool. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and as per usual, check out the latest film on the filming channel. The link will be on the end screen. One.